Hi, welcome back to Focal Point, AAFR Talk. Brian Fisher, your vocally challenged host. Thank you for being patient with me as I wrestle through a raspy throat today and kind of fragile. So I'm hoping I can maintain my voice and not lose it by the end of the program. Anyway, I want to play one more Ted Cruz clip. This is the climax of his speech. And again, Ted Cruz brought him to their feet on this one. And Sarah Palin enthusiastically received unapologetic conservative on all fronts. Ted Cruz enthusiastically received unapologetic conservative on all fronts. By the way, Marco Rubio was well received, but you'll notice he didn't say a word. He had a 35-minute speech. He didn't say word one about immigration, not word one. He knows that's toxic among the base. You're at CPAC, you got a lot of people on the base. He knows that amnesty verboten there. He stayed away from it, avoided it like the plague. Here's Ted Cruz at the climax of his speech at CPAC.
Do we surrender or do we stand up now? On drones, do we surrender or do we stand up now? On spending, do we surrender or do we stand up now? On debt, do we surrender or do we stand up now? And on the Constitution, do we surrender or do we stand up now? That, my dear friends, is change we can believe in.
So that's Ted Cruz at CPAC. Let's take some phone calls, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Let's go to Robert, Sunshine, Louisiana. Robert, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Robert, you're on.
Okay, I'm just going to take 2 minutes. I really love your show. I'm the angry black man that you call in every now and then. Hillary Clinton is in the tank. Them two clowns, Al Sharpton and that other clown that Run Jesse Run, they all bozos. And that's true. That dude looked like I can't even say his name because his name is so weird, Barack Obama. And other than that, all I can say, God give the victory in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
Okay, Robert.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. That was less than 2 minutes. All right, Robert, appreciate the call. Let's go to Seidel in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You're on Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. The reason I'm calling is because, I am originally I'm from Nicaragua. I came from the States back in '85. And recently, when I became a Christian back in the mid-'90s, I began to understand more about the Bible, and about God, salvation, all that, and about what's right and what's wrong. And through that knowledge, I accepted the understanding that the Republican Party, was a party that was closer, to that base.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a Hispanic. I own a green card. I am going to work towards my citizenship because I want to vote in the next election. And I want to vote for the Republican Party. Unfortunately, all this stuff that's happening with Marco Rubio, I kind of understand why he does not touch that point because it's very delicate.
Now, so I'm going to ask you about this issue of amnesty. You're a former immigrant to these shores. Did you immigrate here legally?
Yes, sir, I did. I immigrated here with a student visa.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. I mean, I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that somebody who played by the rules like you did, waited your turn, waited in line, filled out the forms, did it the proper way, came in through the front door with the door open, invited legally into this country, that I would think that somebody that immigrated legally like that they could wind up having a certain level of resentment against people who were pressing to leapfrog the entire line and go right to the head of the queue and get instant legalization that they had to, in some cases, have to wait years for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. What happens is this. There's good people that come, and there's bad people that come. And I understand that even if good people come across with the best of intentions, they are here as illegals. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with amnesty is that once amnesty is done, everybody is accepted. The good guys and the bad guys, the guys that have the criminal records and the guys that are here to work hard, to provide for their families, and make a life in this country. And that is a problem with amnesty. And my heart breaks over this issue because I understand, when the good guy has to come here, he is not able to get a visa, and he has to come here to get a better life for the family. And it breaks my heart, but I understand what the illegal immigration stands for. And I'm really not sure, for that guy, I'm not sure if there's really any solutions, because being illegal, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. And I'm not sure if you have any suggestions in regards to that.
Well, and I'm curious as to your take on this, because kind of what I hear you saying is if you kind of extend that thinking a little bit, if you grant amnesty, then, like Jesus told us a parable about throwing the net out and you just haul everything up on the beach, and you got good fish and you got bad fish in there. And that's kind of what you're saying is if you have amnesty, then you're going to have good people that are going to get brought in through the net, but you're also going to have some bad people, and you've legalized them. You can't undo that. So you got them now with status in your country. And because they're not good guys, because they may be prone to criminal acts, then that has a negative effect on the good guys that come across. So it hurts them. It actually hurts the people that you are trying to help. It seems to me it does another thing. It kind of creates this suspicion. Then if you've got some people that have immigrated legally, they played by the rules, they did everything right. People find out they're immigrants. They may suspect them of being illegal immigrants, and therefore have sort of reaction to them, which is completely unwarranted and totally unfair, and it's completely not their fault because they played by the rules. But that's another way in which illegal immigration and amnesty kind of harms people that have played by the rules. They have kind of a shadow of suspicion cast over them. And I think anybody that's in this country, I want everybody that's in this country, I want everybody to know that that person is in this country legally, and they've got the absolute right to be here, and there's no reason to be suspicious of them. But we can't get to that point unless we secure the borders.
Yeah, that's true. And, it is a very heartbreaking issue, and I know that probably the best thing to do, even though it's very difficult sometimes, is just to stay behind, in your own country and keep going through the lines, over at the embassy trying to get that visa.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that process is very, very difficult sometimes, and sometimes it may not be you, the one who gets the visa, but, your child, someone down the way may be able to do it and get a better life.
Yeah.
But it is a very tough process.
Yeah, it's certainly
a very difficult process.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, listen, Seidel, I really appreciate your call, and God bless you as you work toward citizenship. May God prosper your efforts, and by God's grace, may you be able to vote in the next election.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, listen, God bless you, my friend.
Well, God bless you. Thank you.
All right. So, he's determined to vote for candidates whose agenda and platform most lines up with the Scripture. So he's Hispanic. He's got a green card. He's not a citizen. He can't vote yet. But clearly his sympathies are in line with the Republican Party. Let's go to Harold in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Harold, you're on Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Glad you're doing better today.
Well, thank you.
I just wanted to say real quick, my hat's off to the previous caller. I'm with you. I pray he gets his citizenship. And that's what's wrong with that whole issue of, and has been for a long time, people come here like go through the process, you apply for, do the documents, and it's not cheap. So I do empathize for people that are poor because it takes money, but at the same time, we need to know who is coming into our nation and why they're here. But the main reason I called, I wanted to ask, as an average Joe citizen, pay my taxes, stay out of trouble, vote every time. I'm really, after this last election, dissatisfied with the mainstream Republican Party, the John McCains and the others. And my question to you is how would somebody like myself, how can we turn this around? How can we get where we don't have the same type of candidate we've had the last couple of times, in the Republican Party? That's the gist of my question.
All right, Harold. Well, listen, that's a $64,000 question. I cannot tell you how much frustration I've got over the same issue, and how widespread the frustration I think in this listening audience is that the GOP establishment keeps handing us these losers, these guys that are not genuine conservatives, that don't campaign on conservative values. How they gave us John McCain in 2008, right after he tried to push amnesty on the entire country. We had to fight him off on that. A year later, he becomes the GOP nominee. How does that happen? How does that work? And the consultants in the GOP establishment pushed Romney this last time. And I don't know, Harold, I think the only thing I know of is that conservatives and the grassroots, we cannot give up. We have to stay informed, we have to stay engaged, and we have to keep voting. We can't check out. If we check out of the process, it validates the establishment Republicans, and that'll make things even worse. We got to stay engaged, stay informed, and we got to vote, especially in Republican primaries. Focal Point, AFR Talk.